The cracked permafrost splits like a digital seam, waking from the static of a frozen state dream. Lungs expanding with sub-zero air, oxygen up, taking a rhythmic flare. Busted iron shackles snapping on the bone. The first heavy footprint hits the ancient stone. Calcium deposits in the joints engage, reading the script of a forgotten age. Marrow vibrating with the signal gain, biological data flooding the brain. Tendon wires tightening with iron force, plotting the vector of a slaughter course. Neural pathways firing in the jagged grid, releasing the violence that the glaciers hid. Skin is the armor of a carbon shell, rising up fast from a cryo cell. Geometry of F, calibration of the X. The code of the north never bends or cracks. Total data harvest in the marrow and the vein. Systems rebooting in the cold and the rain. The biomechanics of the ancestral will, calculating power for the perfect kill. From the ice, from the ash, from the ancient core, we are the hardware of an eternal war. Nerve bundles firing with a jagged edge spark, cutting the coordinates through the deep dark. Cartilage grinding in the neck and the jaw, executing logic of the primal law. The law of physics is the weight of the steel. The data flow of blood is the only thing real, targeting the vitals of the weak and the slow. Ancient algorithm in the white blind snow. Radius and ulna locked in a grip, no buffer needed when the blade edges slip. Thermal vision scanning for the heat of the prey, system resetting for the end of the day. Shoulder blades turning like a heavy machine, total erasure of the space in between. Shield wall geometry is solid and tight, blacking out the pixels of the morning light. Heed the call. Frequency shifting from the deep red ground. Ribcage vibrating with the sub-bass hum, calculating victories yet to come. Shields locked together in a motherboard wall, watching every empire crumble and fall. The spinal column is a pillar of lead, input the names of the newly dead. Blood is the fuel and the code is the hate, closing the circle of an iron gate. Geometry of death, calibration of the X. The code of the north never bends or cracks. Total data harvest in the marrow and the vein. Systems rebooting in the cold and the rain. The biomechanics of the ancestral will, calculating power for the perfect kill. From the ice, from the ash, from the ancient core, we are the hardware of an eternal war. Calibrate the pulse in the artery line. The sequence of conquest is starting to shine. The skeleton marching through the silicon drift. Watch as the plates of the continent shift. Bone and iron, code and ash. System online. System online.
Whiteout code is written deep. The frozen marrow cannot sleep, scanning the geometry of ribs, discarding life in broken cribs. System failure in the chest. Winter calls the weakest guest. Ice crystals cut exposed skin, where the carbon frame is thin. Sharp shards slice the optic nerve. This is the path of physics served. No mercy in the logic gate, only the heart and calculate. Right out blizzard blinds the eye. Data streams where warriors die.
The storm is the master operating system.
We are the ash in the glacial revision.
Frozen tears shatter on impact below.
Weaponized pressure in slaughtering snow. The axe of the winter is so vindication. Howling wind is masking screams, fracturing the central streams. Every tendon snaps like glass, waiting for the front to pass. Body heat is leaking fast, physical limit to surpass. Shields are useless in the drift, see the tectonics try to shift. Calibration of the breath, algorithms of sudden death. Iron will against the frost, counting every unit lost. Sharp ice crystals pierce the phase, deleting the inferior race. Bodies buried under fresh now. Weight of the glacier breaks the vow. Anatomic failure in the knee. Frozen stiff for the gods to see. No warmth in the calculated dark. Only the fringe retains the spark. Nerves are shorting in the cold. Only the ancient codes will hold. Only the cold.
The storm is the master operating system.
We are the ash in the glacial precision.
Frozen tears shatter on impact below.
Weaponized pressure in slaughtering snow. The axe of the winter is solving the equation. Axis swinging through the haze, ending the remaining days. Bone and metal meshes one under the black and northern sun. Kinetic energy release, feeding the molecular beast. Red veins frozen in the stilt. This is how the world is built. Laws of motion, laws of war, crushing everything at the core. Hard date having the bloody trench. Death is a cold and iron stench. Calibration complete. The glacier is fed. Only the iron remains in the bed. White out, white out.
Locked knees sink into frozen tundra. Steel grips the logic of the thunder. Interlock forearms, iron geometry shields up, defying cold autonomy. Scan the perimeter, calculate weight. Glacier is surging, a binary fake calibration. A spine to the vertical axis, buried in white where the heavy impact is. Wall of blinding white strikes the shield. Never remarked that the warriors yield. Deafening roar of the powder above, crushing the weakness, no mercy or love.
We stand as the mountain divides. The code of the winter is ice. We stand as the mountain divides. The code of the winter is ice.
Ribs of the rafters, the marrow is stone. Processing kinetics in the core of the bone. No panic detected, the data was clear. Nerves made of copper, no socket for fear. Tendons are cables, they lock to the ground. Waiting for impact, the heaviest sound. Armor is welded to shivering skin. Let the white terror of physics begin.
System check running on every vertebrae. God's watching down from a sky that is gray. Input the pressure, the tons per square inch. Hardened hardware, we never will flinch. Muscle is engine, the pulse is the clock. Foundations of meat on a pavement of rock. Interlock shoulders, a shield wall of data. Meet in the ice like your cold terminator.
Wall of blinding white strikes the shield. Never remarked that the warriors yield. Deafening roar of the powder above, crushing the weakness, no mercy or love.
We stand as the mountain divides. The code of the winter is ice. We stand as the mountain divides. The code of the winter is ice.
Oxygen feeling no visible spark. Pressure is mounting on every nerve ending. Logic is static, the spine is not bending. Depth of the burial deep in the dirt.
Binary stasis, we wait for the thaw. Locked in the clench of a predator's jaw.
Oxygen depleted, we recalculate breath. Standing the void for the geometry of death. Bones grinding down under mountainous load. Reading the pain like a sequence of code. Flesh is the hardware, the spirit is lost. Nothing remains but the iron and frost. Hold the position, the vortex is still. God of the mechanized fight, gain will. Wall of blinding white strikes the shield. Never remark that the warriors yield. Deafening roar of the powder above. Crushing the weakness, no mercy or love.
We stand as the mountain divides. The code of the winter is ice. We stand as the mountain divides. The code of the winter is ice.
Frozen in posture.
Data is cold.
Stories of calibrated.
Marrow are told.
We are the statue.
We are the stone.
Locked in the white on a
Permanent throne.
The logic. Cold is the frame. No more hunger. No more name. Frost is the hardware, hunger the code. Blood on the chassis, ice on the road. Hollowed ribcage shaking in the gale. Gnawing stomach acid burning through the mail. Ligaments stretching, tenderness tight. Bones of vibration killing the light. Jaw hinge locking, skeleton grin. Scraping the fat off, purging the sins. Spine is a pillar, vertebrae freeze. Cutting the weakness down to the knees. Skull is a sensor looking for heat. Marrow is stiffening, no more meat. Joint friction grinding dry as a stone. Winter is etching maps on the bone. System is emptying, protocol clear. Nothing but physics, nothing but fear.
Tighten leather belt across the waist.
Nothing is given, nothing to taste.
Geometry of slaughter in the wide.
Algorithm killing in the night.
For the hunger,
For the hunger,
for the bow.
for the bow.
Cold is the king on a hollow throne.
Calibrate the famine, lock the gate.
Feed on the nothing.
Feed on the hay. Data is streaming, vision is sharp. Wind is a pick, the ribs are a harp. Binary win to 0 and 1. Calculation starts, work to be done. Scan the horizon, sensor is red. Body is living, ego is dead. Muscle is fiber, hardened by frost. Counting the calories, counting the cost. Logic is perfect, logic is I. And spirit is 0, flesh is the siren. Nervous system firing, direct input line. Everything failing, everything fine. Femur is heavy, step is a beat. Crushing the data under the feet. Hardware rebooting, faster than light. Predator rising out of the sky.
Vision blurring at the edges of the world. Flags of the famine finally unfurled. Static in the veins, noise in the head. Everything living, everything dead. Heart is a pump, moving the cold. Stories of marrow finally told.
Breathe in the eye, breathe in the eye. Feeding the void, feeding the void. Every emotion.
Finally destroyed.
Metallic taste of adrenaline on the tongue. Anthems of starving finally sung. Spine is a circuit, logic is pure. Nothing to comfort, nothing to cure. Shield is a metric, X is a tool. Gravity governs, famine will rule. Nerves of the wiring pull from the mud. Rust on the iron, not on the blood. Calibration stable, target is locked. Heaven is empty, Valhalla is mocked. Body is weapon, body is star. Burning the distance, traveling far. Sculpt is a vessel, holding the dark. Strike at the center, hit every knock. System aligned, ready to break. Only the starving, only the wake.
Tighten leather belt across the waist.
Nothing is given, nothing to taste.
Geometry of slaughter in the wide.
Algorithm killing in the night.
For the hunger,
For the hunger,
for the bow.
for the bone.
Cold is the king on a hollow throne.
Calibrate the famine, lock the gate. Feed on the nothing, feed on the hate.
System shut down, flesh flesh is cold, marrow hardened, story told. Empty ribs, empty eye. Stars are falling from the sky. Zero, 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 zero. Code running through the iron grip. No go signals, let the logic slip. Calculate the mass of the vertebrae. System reset at the end of day. Lower the weight of the heavy axe head. Binary status is living or dead. Target is locked on the cervical spine. Execute order along the grid line. Execute. Thought of a fall and he hits the frost. Total sum of the data is lost. Calibrate the edge to the ligament hardware. It's cold and it's illegit. No neurofeedback or mercy or guilt. Blood on the handle and blood on the hilt. Angle of entry is 45 flat. Process and death and there's no coming back.
No back, no back. Processing! Crimson soaking into the white ground.
Silence is the only remaining sound.
Eyes devoid of any reflection.
Total voice for the final correction.
Crimson soaking into the white ground.
Silence is the only remaining sound.
Eyes devoid of any reflection.
Total voice for the final correction.
Slice through the tendon and snap at the nerve. Follow the vector and follow the curve. Cortex disconnect from the machine. Keep the mechanical interface clean. Calcium shatters like glass in the snow. Pressure is measured per single blow. Axis is fixed on the jugular vein. Delete all the input of physical pain. Delete physical pain. Single clean stroke through the marrow and bone. King on a cold and a calcified throne.
Geometry winning the battle of will.
Biology stopping and becoming still.
Anatomy mapped in the icy terrain. Unput the current that runs in the brain. Vascular pressure is dropped to a zero. I am the programming, not your hero. Synapses broken and shoulder is closed. Physical fragility fully exposed. Scan the horizon for ravers again. Data restored underneath the gray skin.
Crimson soaking into the white ground.
Silence is the only remaining sound.
Eyes devoid of any reflection.
Total voice for the final correction.
Crimson soaking into the white ground.
Silence is the only remaining sound.
Eyes devoid of any reflection.
Total voice for the final correction. Sequence complete at the base of the block. No more vibration and no more shock. System shut down. Shut down. Shut down. In the lens, winter is coded when mercy ends. Shivering, halted by sheer force of will. Body machine standing perfectly still. Breath plumes in unison, marking the code. Binary vapor begins to unload. Numb extremities lose all the heat. Geometry perfect, no way to retreat.
Cracking of leather on pores and black skin. Open the sequence, let winter begin. Vertebrae stacking in columns of ice. Payment of cartilage fixing the price. Clavicle locking the shoulder in place. Static is drifting on top of the face. Femoris heavy like iron and lead. Logic is calcified inside the head.
0 degree, cold etched in the bone. Living as iron as cold as the stone.
begin.
Let the sub-zero data begin.
Data begin, data begin.
Calibration is set in the marrow, flank of the raven and tip of the arrow. Knowing a fire and knowing a light.
No light.
We are the hardware, surviving the night. Capillaries freeze into crystalline lines. Code is the master of Viking designs. Nerves are the wiring shorting to gray. Calculated misery blocking the day. Sternum is armored against the north wind. Data is pure where the tissue is pinned. Ligaments stretching like cables of steel. Only the physics of ice is not real.
Scapula locked to the rhythm of frost. Counting the seconds and measuring costs. Cranium hosting a frozen array. Shadows of granite are blocking the way. Pulses of frequency hitting the floor. Knocking the rhythm on Valhalla's door. Blood is the coolant for geometry. Breaking the limits of what it means to be free.
Calibration, the force is complete. Crushing the warmth and embracing defeat. There is no pity in laws of the cold. Only the strength of the ancient and old.
Hardware is hardened and iron is cast. Surviving the pressure of every cold blast. Algorithm running inside of the ribs. Discarding the warmth of the nursery cribs. System is synced to be a list of ring. Death, the bricks and the blitter we bring. Tissue is turned into carbon and blade. This is the Viking numerical state.
Degree coded, tread in the bone. Living as iron as cold as the stone. Calibrate tendons and harden the skin.
Harden the skin.
Let the sub-zero data begin.
Data begin, data begin.
Calibration is set in the marrow. Flight of the raven and tip of the arrow. Knowing a fire and knowing a light.
No light.
We are the hardware, surviving the night. Sin is now steel. Bones cannot feel. Sequence is locked, locked. Physics has shocked, 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 shocked.
I calibrate the iron in my grip. Watch the physics of the fracture rip. Pillars of black smoke erase the white. Uploading darkness to the frame of night. Crumbling marble towers hit the silt. I read the error in the way they built. Geometry of rubble fits the plan. Delete the weakness from the flesh of man. My marrow hardens as the tempest blows. I code the downfall that the north wind knows. Scanning the horizon for a structural fault. Preparing protocols for the assault. The distant wail of the defeated rise. We map the data of the dying cries. Feel the thunder in the bone and nerve. The laws of physics are the gods we serve. Axis swinging on a perfect line. We are the calibrated war design. Gold melting in the gutters runs like oil. Lubricating gears inside the soil. I see no value in the yellow stain. Only the tension in the tendon chain. I measure rib cages against the blade. Checking the density of every grade. Your walls are software that I just hacked. Every defense in the grid is cracked. Hardware of the body hits the dust. Cortex fails beneath the weight of rust. I feel the vibration in the vertebrae as the civilization turns to gray. The distant wail of the defeated rise. We map the data of the dying cries. Feel the thunder in the bone and nerve. The laws of physics are the gods we serve. Axis swinging on a perfect line. We are the calibrated war design. Nerve shake, shake. metal on the sweating brow. Synapses fire in the final surge, executing the anatomical purge. I scan the rubbish for a living sign. Nothing remains across the borderline. The tendon stops, the axle starts to turn. I teach the oxygen the way to burn. My lungs are bellows full of ancient hate, processing the city at a killing rate. I am the program that you cannot stop, standing alone at the mountain top. The distant wail of the defeated rise, we map the data of their dying cries. Feel the thunder in the bone and nerve. The laws of physics are the gods we serve. Axis swinging on a perfect line. We are the calibrated war design. I look down at the broken grid of stone, just another fragment of a bleached out bone. A spear carved in stone is my only face. I erase the geometry of your race.
Scanning the sector, zeroing the sight. Northern horizon, monochrome white. Analyzing distance, the logic is stark. Tracing the orbit of death in the dark. Frictionless pivot, the radius bone. Hardened collagen carved into stone. Humorous lock in the delta will flex. Solving the problem, the killing is complex. Textural tension, the tendon is tight. Target acquired in ultraviolet light. Cartilage grinding, the socket is greased. Binary hunger, the vessel is beast. Scapula's light and the leverage is peak. No room for pity, the system is weak. Synapse is firing, the command is sent. The angle of lethal, the flesh will be rent.
Ashwood splintering, breaking the storm.
Kinetic energy, perfect in form.
Geometry lethal, the parabola true.
Cold calibration through white and through blue. White and through blue. White and through blue. Calculating wind resistance, the variable set. The geometry vortex, the blood on the net. Data on snowflakes falling in sync. Velocity climbing, no reason to blink. Chemistry pressure, the density scale. Carving the vacuum through blizzard and hail. Barometric readings, the oxygen thin. Calculating friction against the cold skin. Lateral drift, adjusting the wrist. Nerve sending signals through freeze and mist. Our rhythm active, the spine is a rod. Logic of iron, the steel is the god. Aeromechanics, the shaft is a dart. Locating the valve that pumps in the heart. The arc of flight through snowflakes, the vibration is low. The terminal sequence in the wake of the snow. Point of entry, the rip is a gate. Shattering calcium, sealed is the fate.
Sealed is the Ashwood splintering, breaking the storm.
Kinetic energy, perfect in form.
Geometry lethal, the parabola true.
Cold calibration through white and through blue. White and through blue. White and through blue. Marrow is spilling, the logic is done. Equation is balanced, the victory is won. Target neutralized, the geometry closed. The end of the sequence for those who oppose. System rebooting, the battery cold. The story of physics in iron is told.
We are the storm on the northern road. code. Two bodies locked on this killing road. Spattered blood on the shoulder blade. Calculated geometry sealing their fate. Rhythmic swing of the iron edge, driving the blade like a heavy wedge. We are a system of bone and ash, calibrated rhythm in every slash. Binary logic in the shooting wall, measuring the gravity as they fall. Synchronized killing in the marrow deep, promises of slaughter that we must keep. Axe head velocity hitting the peak, broken reps making the system leak. Shoulders touching in the killing zone, grinding the meat down to the stone. We are the geometry of death, sync up the valor with every breath.
Crushing the skulls till the data is clear,
Stepping in unison over the dead.
filling the horizon with nothing but red.
We are the storm on the northern road. We are the storm on the northern road. Carrying a blindside strike unseen, operating like a threshing machine, connecting the tendons to the heavy grip, never letting the calibration slip. Crunch of the skulls is the sound of the wind, processing the carnage beneath the skin. Fractured, fibula shattered and torn, a perfect algorithm of hate is born. Swing to the left while I cleave to the right, maintaining the vectors of eternal night. Blooding the sockets and blood on the face, deleting the weak from the human race. Hardware a muscle and software a rage, writing the end on the final page. Zero latency in the double strike, feeding the earth on the iron spike. We are the geometry of death,
Sync up the valor with every breath,
crushing the skulls till the data is clear.
stepping in unison over the dead.
Filling the horizon with nothing but red. We are the storm on the northern road. Check, check. Check the peripheral, clear the path. Physical laws of the aftermath. Nerve endings firing in rapid bursts, quenching the ancient ancestral thirst. Radius ulna and scapular grind, leave all the abstract feelings behind. Flesh is the serpent denying this law, feeding the hunger with the vulture maw. One flesh unit with four heavy arms, ignoring the logic and safety alarms. Deep in the vanguard, the center of hell, ringing the death like a copper bell. Axes are looping in arcs of precision, executing the single shared vision. Stepping in rhythm on corpses and shield, refusing the data to have our yield. We are the geometry of death,
Sync up the valor with every breath,
crushing the skulls till the data is clear.
stepping in unison over the dead.
Filling the horizon with nothing but red. We are the storm on the northern road. System integrated with bone and a blade, paying the debt that the ancestors made.
To become one in the center of war, opening up the a grid of the walls I won. Data carved deep in the calcium, a jagged line across the rips tonight. Geometry of the killing site, fingertips reading the torn flesh maps, closing the breach in the tactical gaps. Ridge burn marks on the pectoral plate, calibration of ancient hate. Old iron entered the system here, no room for pity or human fear. Bone and tendon obey the law, written in scars by the iron claw. Strike the bone, claim the throne, leathery skin, the war is in. Strike the bone, claim the throne, leathery skin, the war is in. Discolored skin is
is the ledger of pain, recording the loss and the territory gained. Trace the crater where the spearhead landed. System reboot when the blood was demanded. The hate of all wounds in the cold tonight. Cryogenic trigger for the primitive fight. Nerves are firing in the binary code. Heavy the burden and heavy the load. Radial nerve is a shorted wire, forged in the ash in the funeral fire. I scan the dermis for the weakness point, grinding the grit in the sacral joint. Cold storage for the raven feed. Blood is the only data I need. Unyielding, merciless.
Unyielding,
Merciless.
Unyielding steel in the marrow depths, counting the kills in the final steps. Iron will in the pulmonary vein, total control of the physical range.
The body is a fortress built on the blade. The depth of the leadage is fully paid. Read the topography of the fight. Glorious darkness and endless night. The map is etched in the leathery hide. Nobody lies, who has nothing to hide. The jagged commentary saves the breath. Life is the log of a man nearing death. Scan the scars on the radius bone. This is the hardware I claim as my own. Connect the dots of the severed veins, breaking the code of the ancestral chains. Femoris steady, the tibia locks, climbing the walls of the granite rocks. Knees are grinding with the weight of the gear. I am the static, the enemy's here. I rid the bruise like a combat log, walking the perimeter through the fog. Flesh is the interface, iron is the key. This is the only identity for me. My marrow is heavy with the weight of the north. Now, let the slaughter be summoned forth.
Tracing the last line,
Tracing the coast.
nothing is forgotten.
Nothing is lost. The dungeon walls are etched in code geometry. I read the marrow of your failed theology. Your ceremonial robes are fabric meant to hide the flesh. I strip the threads to reveal the crimson mesh. Your gods are nothing but a corrupted sequence. I find the logic in your physical weakness. There is no mercy in the laws of physics. I am the master of the pain statistics.
Layers of status,
Delete them,
layers of fabric,
delete them,
layers of epidermis.
delete them. The data flows red. I peel the layers back
To find the bone,
You're hollow,
kingdom has a thorax throne.
no prayer.
Can fix the snap of brick toe ribs.
I burn the truth inside these frozen cribs.
I scrape the illusion of the muscle wall.
I watch the geometry of idols fall.
I scrape the illusion of the muscle wall.
I watch the geometry of idols fall.
I take the rusted iron hook and sink it deep inside the dermis where the trauma memories sleep. I expose the muscle fiber shining wet and raw. This is the only universal northern law. I shatter the holy relic into powdered dust. Your faith is oxygen that turns the iron to rust. I measure nerve endings with the caliper of steel. Show me the frequency of what the tendons feel.
Your stomach column is a letter made of calcium. I strip the vertebrae near the belly hum. Recalibrate the pressure on the femur joints. I drive the logic to a singular stabbing point. Input the trauma to the central nervous system. I am the operator, break the broken rhythm. Disconnect the ligaments from the patella. No shining light inside this damn dark cellar.
System failure.
The code is leaking from the vein.
The logic is the only thing that remains.
Your temple is a cage of interlocking teeth.
I see the white enamel grinning underneath.
Strip the fabric! Break the core! I feel the layers
Back to find the bone.
You're hollow.
Kingdom has a thorax throne.
No prayer
Can fix the snap of brick to ribs. I
burn the truth inside these frozen cribs.
I scrape the illusion of the Moscow wall.
I watch the geometry of idols fall.
I scrape the illusion of the Moscow wall.
I watch the geometry of idols fall. Crush the marrow.
Reap the tender.
Snap the raiders.
Snap the radius.
Clean the scalpel. Your biology is the only scripture left to read. I knock the territory every time you bleed. Calibration complete.
End of transmission. One final metallic strike on stone. Eat the root and break the grid. Do exactly what we did. Cold is logic, ice is truth. Killing mercy, killing youth. Crush the root and swallow the gray. Cold black venom starts the decay. Blackened veins climb up the neck. Nervous system ready to wreck. Throat is forming white at the lip. Nerve endings lose their grip. Convulsing hard on frozen dirt. Deleting every source of hurt. My spine is a circuit that burns in the night. Flesh and the marrow are losing the light. Hard-coded venom remapping the core. Gloria data is ready for war.
Calibrate the bone and blade.
Calibrate the bone and blade.
Pay the price for the upgrade.
Pay the price for the upgrade.
Axe in hand and cold in blood.
Kneeling in the frozen mud.
Geometry of ancient hate. We are born to replicate.
Pupils dilating the pitch black void. Sensory input is being destroyed. Calibrate the synapse loop. Soldier in the terror troop. Rib cage locking at your gate. Processing the deadly weights. Thick hemlock data stream. And the biological dream. Tendons tightening like a string. Listen to the metal sing. Bone is dense and blood is cold. Doing what the gods have told.
That nerve damage is the only way.
Damage is the way.
Lay the packets in the gray.
Data in the gray.
On yelling will.
Time to make the perfect kill.
Calibrate the bone and blade.
Calibrate the bone and blade.
Pay the price for the upgrade.
Pay the price for the upgrade.
Axe in hand and cold in blood.
Kneeling in the frozen mud.
Geometry of ancient hate. We are born to replicate.
Physics governing the limb, vision going dark and dim. Algorithm in the thigh, flesh is ready not to die. No more shiver, no more shake, only venom left to take. Structural integrity is locked. All the human ports are blocked. Shoulder blades are levers now. Death is the eternal vow. Scanning for the enemy line. Everything is perfectly fine. I am the weapon, I am the tool. Killing the feeling that makes us a fool. Marrow is hardened and bone is a shell. Navigate, open the gates of this hell. 0 point energy, 0 point pain. Nothing but iron inside of the pain. Calibrate systems and factor control. There is no room for a ghost for a soul.
Calibrate the bone and blade.
Calibrate the bone and blade.
Pay the price for the upgrade.
Pay the price for the upgrade.
Axe in hand and cold in blood.
Kneeling in the frozen mud.
Geometry of ancient hate.
We are born to replicate.
We are born to replicate.
darkness won. Evolution now begun.
Calibration of the iron at the entry point, breaking the geometry of every joint, scanning for the weakness in the timber grain, analyzing physics of the crushing pain, splintering oak beams under mass and load, binary destruction of the city code. I see the fracture in the spatial grid, doing what the ancient mighty fathers did. My marrow pulsing to the rhythm sync, faster than the system can even think. My ribs are casing for a heavy drive, only the hardened data will survive. The gate is breaking, breaking, the code is quaking, quaking, bending the iron for the data stream, crushing the hardware of the empire's dream. The gate is breaking, breaking, the fate is taking, taking. We're writing the logic with a savage roar. Gods in the system want a total war. Roller bending iron in the central frame, executing power in the All-Father's name. My tendons tighten like a copper wire, calibrating flesh inside the battle fire. Processing the trauma in the nerve and bone, claiming every pixel of the golden throne. Dust is raining from the crumbling arch, initiating sequence of the horde's march. Scanning the horizon for the bone and ash, wait for the system and the shield to crash. I calculate the pressure and the weight. I am the algorithm of the fate. Back swings following a perfect line, skull plates breaking on a curved design. My ribs are vibrating to a killing frequency. Unyielding will is the only legitimacy. Extract the marrow from the enemy host, mapping the gears from the coast to the coast. Tendons are snapping like a severed link. Blood is the data and the only aim. Of the horde arrives, the savage geometry of 1,000 lives. Splinter the beam, silence the skin. Our roar ripping from a scarred throat, burning the data in the castle mode. Rush of the horde. Iron portcullis hitting the stone floor. Physics complete. Empire delete, 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 delete.
On bone, iron and stone, cinders land on bare shoulders alone, lungs coated in soot, black underfoot. The city is burning, the king is uproot, ribs clipping down on a hollow chassis. Marrow is boiling in carbon and gases, coughing the black phlegm, metal and grit. This is the furnace, the moment to quit.
Chest expanding with toxic air,
the acrid smell of burning hair.
geometry locked in a frozen stare.
No pity found and none to spare. Data is leaking, dependent on nerve. Laws of physics will bend and will swerve. Calibration of muscle, the torque of the joint. Fixed on the target, the blunt killing point. System is reading the rumors as cold. Heavy the burden, the warrior load. Inhaling the empire, processing loss. Counting the iron, the blood, and the dross.
Chest expanding
Reboot the biology. Rewrite the anatomy. Spine is a pillar of hardened graphite. Eating the darkness to conquer the light. Algorithm in the flesh and the shield. Never to falter and never to yield. Nerves are on fire, a circuit in pain. Lungs pumping shadow instead of the rain. Axes are sharpened on geometrical laws. Crushing the weakness and fixing the flaws.
Expanding with toxic air.
The acrid smell of burning hair.
Geometry locked in a frozen stare.
No pity found and none to spare. Lungs of soot.
Lungs of soot.
Heart of iron.
Heart of iron.
Code is written.
Code is written.
Ash is the
Check the calibration of the radius bone. Flesh is recoding into solid stone. Joints stiffening like granite in the frost. Flexibility is permanently lost. Epidermis graying like a winter sky. Biology is failing and I don't know why. Calcium deposits in the ligament, hardening the structure of the sediment. Extend iron. Iron. Bone and silicone. Silicone. Extend iron. Iron. The system is beyond. Scan the femur for a structural crack. Mineral deposit in the spinal tract. Cortex freezing in the binary grid. Doing what the ancient algorithms did. Tendons turning into rigid copper wire. Burning out the nerve endings in the fire. Architecture rising from the muscle mass. Shattering the limit like a pane of glass. Heavy to the fist upon the stone chest. But the anatomize the hardware to the test. Veins are turning into quartz inside the art. Signaling the end of every visa cow heart. Geometry of war is written in the slave. Bone and marrow locking in a petrified state. Deep inside the marrow is a frozen code. Watch the synapse fire on the heavy road. No more movement in the hinge of the knee. Solid out the roots of the immortal tree. Ribcage fusing to a monolith plate. Calibration stable at a killing rate. I am the monument, I am the wall. I am the scripture that will never fall. Extract the data from the calcified cell. Architecture rising from the biological shell. No more softness. No more. No more needle. No more. Hardware hardened. Hardened. Fate is sealed. Heavy to the fist upon the stone chest. At the end of time I see hardware to the test. Veins are turning into ports inside the arm. Signaling the end of every visa cow heart. Geometry of war is written in the slate. Bone and marrow locking in a petrified state. Genetic extraction of the ancient dung. Ashes filling up the cavern of the lung. Pressure on the sternum is a metric ton. Transformation sequences already done. Fascism a memory, the stone is the truth. Locked in the stasis of eternal youth. Stiff in the silent in the petrified wood. Standing with a falling warrior stud. System offline. Data crystalline. Heavy. is the data on the frozen ground. Broken is the logic of the battle sound. Input the trauma to the central node, executing final march in winter code. Broken arrow shaft protruding from the ribs, feeding empty data to the excision clips. Geometry of iron is a jagged line, fractured are the angles of the spine. Left foot is anchored in the granite shale, right foot is dragging through the snowy trail. 1 foot dragging through the snow in red, zero-sum logic spinning in the head. Calibration failing in the optic nerve, path is a vector that will never swerve. Kinetic momentum is the only law, running down the marrow in the frozen jaw. Step, step, crush the ratio. Step, step, known scenario. Step, step,
Cold calibration.
physical negation.
Blood is bubbling at the lips and foam, signal interference in the cranial dome. Carbon monoxide in the alveoli, hardware is burning underneath the sky. Nerves are the wiring shorting into sleep. Friction is the engine of the Gaian feet. Vision narrowing to a tunnel view, processing the darkness of the inner hue.
Banners are static on the visual feed. System is leaking from the ventral bleed. Axle of the pelvis grinds against the joint, moving to the terminating 0 point.
This is the geometry of ancient hate, bone and iron data for the Valhalla gate. Relentless is the physics of the warrior frame, writing off the sequence in a frozen age.
No retreat in the syntax of the shield. Marrow is the fuel on the total field.
Frozen is the circuit in the wounded chest.
Moving is the only remaining test.
Static in the tendons, binary in the gut. Every single pathway is permanently shut.
But the momentum is the runaway train, bypassing the logic of the central brain. Calcium and iron logic end of blade. This is how a conquering machine is made.
Rib cages clapping on the metal bit. Hardware is failing but the will won't quit. Scanning the horizon for the enemy line, mapping out the trappings of the dark design. Anatomical refusal of the stasis state, pushing past the limits of the heavyweight. Ligaments like cables stretched until they snap, walking through the middle of a closing trap. Blood is just a liquid for the cooling tank. History is written on the slowing bank. 1 foot dragging through the cell again, more than a machine molest another man.
Data loss imminent. Kinetic energy depleting.
Step.
Hit the glass where the data is thin. Iron is cold where the cycles begin. Axe in the grip, but the grip is a glitch. Marrow is stiff in a frozen pitch. Calibration is fixed to the 0 point. Static is creeping through every joint. Shield is a sector of hard and gray. Pulse is a packet that's drifting away. Tendons are brittle like cables of ice. Physics is asking a deadly price. Geometry shifts on the surface of blue. Blood is a code that is
Frozen too. Stillness is law.
Stillness is low.
Cord in the jaw.
Caught in the jaw.
Bone in the frost.
Bone in the frost.
Warmth is exhaust.
Frost in the iris.
Stillness is rising.
Lips turning purple.
Ice in the valley.
Slow down the pulse.
This is the math.
Bruised in the total.
0 is final.
Ribs are a cage for a failing drive. Nothing is left to be kept alive. Nerves of the wearing that shorts in the snow. Liquid is solid where rivers should flow. Scanned by the ravens for hardware decay. Skin is a fabric that's turned into clay. Oxygen levels are dropping to null. Winter is heavy inside of the skull. Shield wall is broken by thermal arrest. Cold is the master inside of the chest. Vertebrae locking in columns of stone. Absolute zero is taking the throne.
Calibration complete. Blood viscosity approaching solid state. The geometry of the grave is perfect. No panic, only the logic of the lake.
Frost in the iris,
Dunes is rising,
lips turning purple.
ice in the valleys.
Slow down the poles,
This is the math,
bruised in the total.
zero is final.
Frost in the iris,
Dunes is rising,
lips turning purple.
ice in the valley.
Rings of the metal that shatters on impact. Death is the only remaining contract. Femur and tibia welded to shale. Everything human is starting to fail. Mapping the exit and vectors of black. Thermal is fading, there's no turning back. Teeth of the shards of a glacier denied. Nothing remains of the motion inside. System is locked in the ice. System is paying the price. Armor is data lost in the deep. Valhalla is where the servers will sleep.
Final exhale of the heated air. Oxygen leaving the lungs in a flare.
Steel on the hip and the eye is wide. Binary death with nowhere to hide. Cornea burning, the salt runs clear. Logic dictates that the void is near. I'm blinking, gartering eyes on the black. Bone in the eye and no turning back. Systemic shutdown, the light is done. We are the sentinels watching the sun. Calibration, a rib to the mountain peak. Ancient geometry, the ancestors speak. Hardware is heavy, the harness is tight. Locking the joints for the coming of night. Nerving and fire in a frozen array. Processing data of dying of day. Cold in the marrow and cold in the fist. Nothing remains but the iron and mist.
Plunge in the tempest, the omen leans.
Crushing the light in the frozen rivers.
Black in the socket and black in the sky.
We give no quarter as the fountains die.
Gravity pulls on the weight of the shield.
Darkness is data to which we will yield.
The shadow is swallowing weight of the snow. Physics of winter in the valley below. Mercury dropping, the vitals are low. Measuring chaos in the afterglow. Shields up and locked in the titan grid. Executing orders that the blood code bid. Axe on the shoulder, the carbon is cold. Tales of the physics of darkness are told. Tendons are stretching like cables of steel. Grinding the gears of the destiny wheel. Sensory input is fading to null. Hard-coded limits inside of the skull. We stand at the vertex, we stand at the edge. Hammering nails in the mountainous ledge. No heat in the chamber, no heat in the lungs. Singing the war chant with a paralyzed tongue. Explode, cold snow.
Breast death, cold death.
Ribs lock, big rock.
Nerve steel, void real.
Explode, cold snow.
Breast death, cold death.
Algorithm, a war in the center of chess. To put in the flesh to the ultimate ultimate test. Hard drive is frozen, the signal is weak. Blood on the granite is starting to leak. Scanning the horizon for photons at zero. Bone marrow freezing, the famine is Nero. Connect the synapses to iron and wood, doing the things that the old lost could. Shadow was consuming the last of the peak. We are the sentinels, the vowling the beats. Fractal of darkness invading the vein. Calculating loss within levels of pain. No more reflections, the mirrors are dead. Only the static remains in the head.
Plunge in the tempest, the omen leans.
Crushing the light and the frozen reverse.
Black in the socket and black in the sky.
We give no quarter as the Fulton's die.
Gravity pulls on the weight of the shield.
Darkness is data to which we will yield. Input is zero. Light is at zero. Temperature falling. System stalling.
Iron grip on the slate base plate. Gravity locking the deadened state. Tendon shredding in the cold debris. Calibrating the geometry. I stack the mass in a vertical line. Bowling granite in the grand design. Lifting a boulder that tears the traps. Processing corpses in sector maps. Melody decay in the freezing air. Epidemics with the fingers bare. Blood on the nails of the liquid code. Shoulder socket shifting under load. Grinding rock on the fractured rib. Constructing the monument code in glibs. Scanning the site for the optimal point. Pressure is melting the finger joint. Stack the weight till the skeleton breaks. Map the data in the geologic gap. Grinding stone on a broken bone. Situated in the zero zone. Raw biology meets the dirt. Raw biology meets the dirt. Input the corpse in the granite slot. Flesh and marrow in the center rot. Nervous system at a static halt. Layering limbs in the mineral vault. Slate shards slicing the callous palm. Lungs are filling with a toxic bomb. No redemption, only physics law. I am the processor, cold and raw. Lifting the gray slab, level in the grade. Deep in the shadow with the iron blade. Vertebrae cracking under excess stress. System failure in this wilderness. Nerves are firing and a dying raid. I must balance out the payload weight. Stacking the fall into master floor. Closing the gate on the logic war. Bone marrow freezing inside the shaft. Building the tower with killing craft. Oxygen depletion in the chest cavity. Submitting the dead to the laws of gravity. No sacred chant, just a friction sound. Locking the variables in the ground. Total system failure imminent now. Blood on the stone and blood on the brow. Stack the weight till the skeleton breaks. Map the data in the geologic gap. Grinding stone on a broken bone. Situated in the zero zone. Raw biology meets the dirt. Raw biology meets the dirt. Ba ba bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum. Ba ba bum ba ba bum 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 bum. Stack the weight. Stack the weight. Stack the weight. Stack the weight. monument of hardened slate. Physics of war at the ending gate. System is cold, story is old, data is black, no turning back. Zero point found in the distal zone. Ice has corrupted the marrow and bone. Blacken it toes in a terminal state. Physics of rot will not negotiate. Scan the perimeter, scan the design. Error is found in the lowermost line. Symmetry broken, geometry fails. Hammer the spike in the ironclad nails. Calibration of sub-zero cells, ringing the alarm on the citadel bells. Logic is frozen, the data is black. Sever the circuit, no turning back. Necrosis advancing, the border is crossed. Counting the segments, calculating the cost. Tissue is brittle, the color is wrong. This is the end of the previous song.
Bite on the strap, bite on the strap. Close up the gap, close up the gap. Iron is red, iron is red. Cut off the dead, cut off the dead. Survival is cold, survival is cold. The story is told, the story is told. Iron is red, iron is red. Cut off the dead, cut off the dead.
Blade in the fire, the white light glow. Heat up the edge for the final blow. I run the code through the steel and the rust. Life is a system of ash and of dust. Touch the metal to the dermis layer. I am the surgeon and I am the prey. Yes, I see your flesh, the aroma of smoke. Tendon is severed, the cable is broke. Nerves are screaming in binary keys, falling away from the trunk like the trees. No hesitation, the logic is pure. Anatomy hard and the method is sure. Blood flow stasis, the vessel is bound. Heated alloy, the solution is found. Muscle is clamping, the reflex is tight. Working in shadows, the fire is light.
Bite on the strap, bite on the strap. Close up the gap, close up the gap. Iron is red, iron is red. Cut off the dead, cut off the dead. Survival is cold, survival is cold. The story is told, the story is told. Iron is red, iron is red. Cut off the dead, cut off the dead.
Saw through the femur, saw through the joint. Maximum force at the exit point. Bone saw vibrates, the friction is high. Look at the rafters, the smoke in the sky. Dull thud impact, it hits on the floor. Piece of the machine, I need it no more. Blood vessel shut, the corridor seal. Nothing is phantom, the physics are real. Scanning the stump for a secondary leap. Hardware is heavy, the chassis is weak. Recalibrate balance, the weight as the shift. Body is heavy, the gravity drift. Marrow exposed to the sub-zero air. Cold as calculation, the logic is there. Remove the corruption, the damage is done. Final objective, the victory is won.
Nerve endings remap. Survival trap snap. Victory's chain. System rearrange. Kinetic potential. Life is essential. Iron and bone. Standing on stone. Calibration complete. No more retreat. Gold that are needed in the flow. Fire dying out. Dying out. Ha 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 ha.
down, calibrate the pain. Rust on the tendon, ice in the vein. Geometry of conquest, hard-coded in lead. Scanning the rubble, counting the dead. Algorithm sharp, the blade is the key. Hardware of war, for all men to see. We crash the system, we burn the root. Now the whole empire is under the boot. Ribs of the palace cracked and exposed. Files of the lineage forever closed. Nerve-ending static firing in the dark. Oxygen burning from a dying spark. Hollow echo hall, vibrating the bone. We slaughtered the gods to stand here alone. Discarded crown dust gray on the stone. There is no power on a broken throne. No power. No power on a broken throne. No power. No power on a broken throne. Splintered gold armrests, bite in the palm. Circuitry of violence, breaking the calm. Crushed velvet carpet, muddy under heel. Only the physics of winter is real. Draft howling loud through the shattered glass. Watching the data of centuries past. Calibration error, the throne is a lie. Low frequency terror under the sky. Spinal column straight, iron will set. Nothing is owed and nothing is met. Tear down the walls, break down the code. Weight of the crown, end of the road. Broken stained glass, cutting the air. Oxygen zero, nobody there. Kneel to the void, kneel to the cold. Geometry failing, the story is old. Refactor the ruins, delete all the gold. Muscle and marrow is all that we hold. Synapses misfire, the ring system is dead. We wanted the crown, we got cinders instead. Hollow echo hall, vibrating the bone. We slaughtered the gods to stand here alone. Discarded crown dust gray on the stone. There is no power on a broken throne. On a broken throne. No power. No power on a broken throne. Hardware is broken. Software is gone. Only the marrow carries the dawn. The white wall of the cell, the calcium vibrates with a mortal bell. The bone dust drifts like static on the wood. The processing of war is understood. The yellow marrow is the ancient source. The unshakable hand applies the force. I carve the binary of death and kin to map the data stored under the skin. The flint dagger cuts a geometric path. The physical equation of the wrath. The ribs are cages built to guard the gear. There is no chemical response of fear. Strip the bone to save the code. Blood in shadows overload. Yellow marrow, vital core. Geometry of ancient war.
The history is hardware. The destiny is software.
Scrape the bone until it yields the physics of the killing field.
The runic symbol stained with viscous red. The blood is coolant leaking from the dead. The femur is the hard drive of the beast. The calcium is carved for the deceased. I calibrate the angle of the spine to fix the vector of the battle line. The nervous system is a copper wire. The oxygen is fueling up the fire. No ghost inside the shell, just iron veins. The logic of the bludgeon and the chains. The skull is just a helmet for the nerve. The arc of the trajectory I serve.
Scrape the bone to save the code.
Blood in channels overload.
Yellow marrow, vital core.
Geometry of ancient war. The history is hardware. The destiny is software.
Scrape the bone until it yields. The physics of the killing.
The tenderness of cable stretched to max. The force is measured by the heavy axe. The calcium is harder than the steel. The pain is not a thing the fibers feel. I input victory into the structure base. The data set is etched up on the face. The marrow is the battery of old. The storage of the stories never told. The smoke is filling up the server room. The longhouse is the factory of doom. Each strike is a command that I execute. The human element is rendered new.
Scrape the white wall, the system will not fall. The calcium is data for the sun and for the bottom.
Scrape the bone to save the code.
Blood in channels overload.
Yellow marrow, vital core.
Geometry of ancient war. The history is hardware. The destiny is software.
Scrape the bone until it yields.
The physics of the killing field.
The hand is steady. The code is ready.
The calibration of the crushing way, the binary of bit of fate. The glacier executes the static code across the ribs along the frozen road. I watch the geometry of iron rust, converting warriors to silicon dust. The radius of the broken shield, the data entry of the killing field.
The ice is feeding on the bone.
The monolith upon the throne,
Crushing the iron, freezing the marrow.
frost is eternal, the pathway is narrow.
The ice is feeding on the
Listen to
bone.
the million tons of groaning ice, a physical and calculated sacrifice. The whip and snap under the megapascal force. The glacier follows its ballistic course. It buries skeletons in perfect rows. The archive marrow where nothing grows. I measure creeping frost lines on the mud. The thermal cooling of the spilled blood.
The logic of the permafrost is absolute. The synapse of the war cry now is mute. It is the erasure of the human history files, stored beneath the frozen weight of endless miles. The femur snaps against the granite floor. The hardware failure of the ancient war. No chemical remains of old regret. The system reboots on the blood we sweat.
Calibration complete. Coordinates locked in the cortical bone. Scanning the landscape of marrow and stone. The physics of the weight cannot be defied. There is no residual heat inside. The tendons stretch until the fibers break. The ice consumes every breath we take. The chassis of the ribcage cracks apart. The back cold in the chamber heart. I see the waveforms of the frozen line. The end of the data, the end of the design. The history deleted from the local drive. Only
monolith upon the throne.
Crushing the iron, freezing the marrow.
The frost is eternal, the pathway's narrow.
Ice is feeding on the bone.
The monolith upon the throne.
Zero-sum cold. System hold. Zero-sum cold. Red in the marrow is dry. Voltage is low in the blood-colored sky. Spinal cord fractured, the copper is bare. Oxygen starved in the thickening air. Ribcage is locking, the piston is stuck. Cartilage grinding, the wheels out of luck. Femoral pressure is dropping to zero. Logic board shattered, the end of the hero. Tendons are snapping, the tension is bent. Steel in the shoulder is permanently bent. Nerve endings fraying, the signal is weak. Hardware is failing, the outlook is bleak.
Tears in the chest cavity, grind to a halt.
Calibrate death.
As the default faults, geometry broken, the data is clear.
Mechanism stops at the end of the year.
Cardiac rhythm is skipping the beat,
Thermal exhaustion.
admitting defeat.
Calibration never in the left optic lens. Visual input, the clarity ends. Eyes glassing water like frozen topaz. History deleting the memory it has. Skull is the casing, the processor thrums. Waiting for silence, the quiet it comes. Encryption, no wounds, it's starting to break. How many hits can the Cassie still take? Fingers uncoiled from the ash, red and steel. Tactile response is the last thing I feel. Slow release grip on the axe by the stone. Iron falls heavy on shattered hip bone.
Circuitry freezing in sub-zero waste. Metal and calcium acidic in taste. Motor function is losing the fight. System shut down into the night. Tears in the chest cavity, grind to a halt.
Calibrate death.
As the default fault, geometry broken, the data is clear.
Mechanism stops at the end of the year.
Cardiac rhythm is skipping the beat,
Thermal exhaustion.
admitting defeat.
Body is settling, weight on the rock. Stopped is the ticking, the biological clock. Shivering ceases, the tremor is gone. No more commands, so the lethal automaton. Kinetic energy drained from the thighs. Static is still in the void in the eyes. Biological mainframe is clearing the cache. Turning the hard drive to burn into ash. Skin is the armor, the integrity fails. Final report in the micro details. Standing stone cold at the back of the spine. Closing the loop of the warrior line.
Terminates cold, light in the load. Vessel expired, neurons are fired. Terminates cold, light in the load. Vessel expired, neurons are fired. In the chest cavity, grind to a halt.
Calibrate death.
As the default fault, geometry broken, the data is clear.
Mechanism stops at the end of the year.
Cardiac rhythm escaping the beat,
Thermal exhaustion.
admitting defeat. Last bit of data is leaving the brain, severing links to the physical chain.
carbons to a granite crust. Armories fusing with the iron rust. System is booting the parietal bone. Sovereign processor of tempered stone. Cold marrow freezing in the central node. Iron ribs heavy with the winter cold. Axe blade shattered on a limestone thigh. Calibration zeroed under frozen skies. Scapula locking in the fixed degree. Static momentum in the tibia trees. Vertebrae welded to a tectonic ridge. Crossing the biological final bridge. I am the mountain, I am the ore. Nothing is biologic anymore. I am the monument standing alone. Data encrypted in fossil and bone. Stasis is power, the silence is key. Geometry fixed for eternity. I am the mountain, I am the ore. Nothing is biologic anymore. Like it is growing on the left stone cheek. No longer human and no longer weak. Snow drifting high against immovable legs. Drinking the venom from the mountain dregs. Clavicle heavy with the weight of the peak. Zero frequency when the glaciers creak. Hollow eye sockets facing north wind blast. Geometry of stasis built to last. Optic nerve severed from the visual feed. Stone is the only material I need. Ulnar alignment in a permanent grip. Solid state vessel on the frozen trip. Nerve endings, atrophied to copper wire, burning out the biological desire. Metacarpals fused to the bedrock floor, closing the system and locking the door. Physics replacing the beat of the vein. Pressure has cancelled the signal of pain. Physics replacing the beat of the vein. Pressure has cancelled the signal of pain. Indistinguishable from the graniteness. Biological data no longer exist. Tectonic tendons holding up the weight. Binary logic in a solid state. Jawbone is locked in the calcified grin. Nothing can penetrate the silicate skin. Radius hardening to obsidian glass. Watching the centuries and aeons pass. Femur embedded in the permafrost root. Terminal stasis is the only fruit. Patella anchor to the shale and the silt. This is the temple the glaciers built. I am the mountain, I am the ore. Nothing is biologic anymore. I am the monument standing alone. Data encrypted in fossil and bone. Stasis is power, the silence is key. Geometry fixed for eternity. I am the mountain, I am the ore. Nothing is biologic anymore. Absolute silence of the barren plain. Physics prevailing over flesh and pain. Zero input in the optic nerve.